Hello, I'm Dr. David Roberts here from Manchester West Veterinary Hospital, and as promised, we're going to start talking about some of the things that we need to do with our new puppy, and we're going to use Emmy as our little model here. Today we're going to talk about housebreaking. This is one that you might want to watch a few times because there's going to be a lot of information. Housebreaking in one word is crate, 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 crate. Using this crate actually promotes the manipulation of an instinct that dogs are born with. It's called the den instinct. That means if they're in an area that's small enough, they will not soil because they don't feel comfortable sort of living with their excrement, basically. When we look at puppies even in the wild, in a cave for instance, those puppies, when their eyes open, they would actually leave that cave to soil. They didn't want to soil in their den. So the den instinct is very positive, and it's something that allows us to housebreak our puppies much more easily. Some owners will say, Emmy's going to be a big dog. I'm going to get a big crate. Sometimes a big crate will allow a puppy to soil in one area of that crate and they'll lay in the other area. So make sure the crate's small, or if you have a big one, partition it off with boxes or cardboard or a piece of wood or anything. So Emmy's in her crate right now. That's where she feels safe. We'll let her out, and we're going to go ahead and talk to you about some of the other aspects of housebreaking. I say to people, use the crate for your advantage. Use it when you're taking a shower, getting ready for work. Use it when you're getting the kids ready. Use it when you're making dinner. Use it when you are cleaning the house. Times when you really can't be right there with your puppy. And it's important to let the whole family know that they all should be on board with this and they all should be doing this, kids included. If puppies are given full reign of the entire house, they will soil in the house. They don't foresee your entire house as their den yet. They will in time though. So that's why you need to keep a very close eye on them when they're off a leash or out of their crate, because if you give them free rein, they will soil. There's just no doubt about it. One of the things we use at our house, and we started doing this years ago, is we actually have tons of these little things hooked up all over the house. It's just a piece of cord with a snap hook, as they call it, which you can get at any hardware store. They're about $1.50, and we hook it to Emmy's leash. Now we hook the leash, of course, to her. Now this is tied around a heavy chair, my desk leg when I'm doing office work, so I've got about 8 of these around the house. A couch leg when my wife and I are watching TV. So Emmy is actually tethered to the room that we're in, but it has to be the room that you're in. If you tether her to a couch leg and you're in your office, she will probably have an accident. And I'll go into that too. Really, there's no accidents. We all call it an accident, but it's not so much an accident. She thought it was okay to soil in that spot because she doesn't foresee that spot as part of her den yet. So it's a training process. So the den instinct is the power. Leashing in the house gives you a little more latitude. It allows you to have the puppy with you when you're doing your bills or paperwork or working on your computer. It gives you that latitude when you're watching TV at night that you can keep her near you. But she'll be in eye shot, and you'll start to notice if she starts to paw or do what I call the dance, you know to get her outside. The other thing I'm not a big fan on are two things. One, I'm not a big fan on taking the puppy out every 30 minutes to relieve themselves. They need to almost be challenged. I'd rather them be in the crate for an hour and a half and then take them out. The other thing we're not big on is newspapers or training pads, the wee pads or what have you, unless that's how you're going to have probably a small dog. You're going to use that for the rest of their life. Because if you use a pad or a newspaper in the house and you tell them it's okay to soil in the house, and then you all of a sudden have to get them outside, it causes mixed signals. So you want to start however you're going to finish right off the bat. I'm also not a big fan of giving treats when a puppy goes outside and does their business. I like verbal praise. I like good puppy, good girl to go business, good girl to do your business. They thrive on that. A treat's not so necessary, and if you have to do a treat, you need to do it immediately, not when you come back inside because they forget about it. The other thing that's kind of is non-productive is punishing a puppy when they soil in the house. Unless you catch your puppy right in the act of soiling. I mean, literally, she's on a leash. She decided to urinate right there with my chair. I'm going to tell her, no, bad puppy. And then I'm going to take her, pick her up. I'm going to start scooping her towards the front door. And I'm going to start telling her, good girl, let's go do our business. Let's go potty. Use a word. Use some kind of a little command, if you will, to make sure that they know that that's what they're going outside for. Especially when they go outside, no playtime, business first. And then they can have playtime, plenty of verbal praise, and that type of thing. The other thing is that you take the puppy out at a time you think they should be soiling, first thing in the morning, before you go to bed, and they don't, then you want to put them back in the crate. Don't give them free rein or they will soil in the house. The last thing that we tell people is there are some alternative measures that you can use. People sometimes use the bell on the door. The one mistake that I find is people think that the dog's just going to go ring the bell. They also might think the dog is going to bark when it has to go do its business. They don't. Not all dogs do that. When you use the bell on the door, what you need to do is go over to the bell, take the puppy's paw, say, go do your business or go potty or whatever your words are, ring the bell with her little foot, good girl, let's go potty, let's go do our business, take her outside, and then she realizes that it's kind of a training thing. It's a Pavlov's dog type of thing. So again, this might be one YouTube that you might want to review because there's a lot of information, a lot of different things on housebreaking. I'm not a big fan of telling people, here's how you should do it, but I'll tell you some of the things that work and some of the things that will make it to your advantage. The crate, leashing in the house, this is my favorite little trick. Those are the best things that we can tell you. I'm Dr. David Roberts from Manchester West Veterinary Hospital, and our next episode is going to be revolved around socialization and how dogs tick. Thank you for your attention.